What if I told you that some of the most unbelievable conspiracy theories were actually true? That hidden behind classified documents, leaked files, and shocking confessions lies a world of secrets, deception, and corruption so unthinkable that no one wanted to believe them. But the truth, it's far more disturbing than fiction. From stolen bodies, to government mind control, to bioweapon experiments on innocent civilians. Today, we uncover the darkest conspiracies that turned out to be 100% real. Buckle up, because once you hear these stories, you'll never look at the world the same way again. Picture this. A mother cradles her stillborn baby, sobbing, mourning, believing that at the very least, she'll be able to give her child a proper burial. But what she doesn't know, her baby's body has already been stolen, not by criminals, not by grave robbers, but by the government. In the 1950s, during the height of the nuclear arms race, scientists needed to understand the effects of radioactive fallout. They needed human bones. So they took them, secretly, without permission. Infants, children, adults, thousands of bodies were taken from hospitals and morgues around the world. Many were never returned. Families were never told. They called it Project Sunshine. But for those who lost their loved ones, there was nothing bright about it. The horrifying truth was only exposed in 1994, when documents finally confirmed what grieving parents had suspected for decades. Their children had been used as lab experiments, and they never even knew. What if I told you that the government saw civil rights leaders, journalists, and even peaceful protesters as enemies of the state? That for decades, the FBI silenced voices they didn't like? It was called COINTELPRO, a secret FBI program designed to spy on, sabotage, and destroy political activists. From 1956 to 1971, the FBI bugged phones, sent fake letters, spread false rumors, and even blackmailed civil rights leaders to pressure them into suicide. One of their biggest targets, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The FBI sent him an anonymous letter urging him to take his own life before receiving the Nobel Peace Prize. And it wasn't just civil rights activists. They infiltrated and dismantled anti-war groups, feminist organizations, even journalists who dared to challenge the government. For years, people called it paranoia, conspiracy. Until 1971, when a group of activists broke into an FBI office and leaked the documents proving everything. The truth was finally out. The FBI had declared war, not on criminals, but on its own citizens. A mysterious illness sweeps through San Francisco. People develop strange infections, fevers, respiratory issues. Some die. Doctors are baffled. But the cause wasn't natural. It was deliberate. In 1950, the U.S. Navy conducted a secret experiment known as Operation Sea Spray. Without warning, they sprayed massive amounts of bacteria over San Francisco to test biological warfare. Over 800,000 civilians were unknowingly exposed. The government never told them, never warned them. They simply watched. One hospital recorded a sudden outbreak of rare infections. One man died. For decades, the government denied everything, until declassified documents in the 1970s exposed the truth. The U.S. had experimented on its own people, and San Francisco wasn't the only city. How many more times have we been unknowing test subjects? Turn on the news, scroll through social media. Ever notice how every channel, every headline seems to push the same narrative? That's not an accident. In the 1950s, The CIA launched Operation Mockingbird, a secret project that planted government agents inside major news organizations. Their mission? Control public perception, spread propaganda, suppress stories. The CIA recruited top journalists, placed agents in newspapers, magazines, even TV networks. By the 1970s, nearly every major news outlet was infiltrated, and when the government wanted to hide something, the media made sure you never heard about it. Even after it was exposed in 1976, officials downplayed its impact. But think about it. If they did it then, who's controlling the media now? The year is 1933. America is struggling under the weight of the Great Depression, and behind closed doors, some of the wealthiest and most powerful businessmen in the country hatch a secret plan to overthrow President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Their goal? To install a fascist dictatorship controlled by corporations and bankers. They recruited a Marine Corps general, Smedley Butler, to lead an army of veterans in the coup. But what they didn't expect, Butler refused. Instead, he blew the whistle. He testified before Congress. The plot was confirmed, but here's the shocking part. No one was ever punished. The men behind the plot went back to business as usual. How close did the U.S. come to being overthrown? And more importantly, could it happen again? These aren't theories, they're facts. Proven, documented, exposed. For years, people laughed at them, called them crazy, paranoid, insane, until the evidence proved otherwise. But now, we have to ask, what conspiracies today will be exposed tomorrow? What secrets are still buried? What truth is being hidden from us? Subscribe to Fractured Reality for more chilling investigations into the unknown. And tell us in the comments, what conspiracy do you think will be proven next?